Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious morning. Again, the beautiful reminder of choice that we all have, that you have, I have. And what is that choice all about? It's about our thoughts. And that's all it's about. Remember, that's the only thing that you have power over, nothing else. And when you connect with that and when you engage with your mind to really think, oh my God, everything changes. You're now master and commander of your life, provided you do that. Now think about the implications here, the consequence of engaging with that and also not engaging with it. And what I'm speaking of specifically is, your thinking. If you don't take control of it, then you're going to be run by the program that's in you, which was formed by other people's mental activity. And that's not a good way to live. So here we invite you to engage with everything that we're talking about here and to literally think, because that's what's going to help you to override and change the program in you, which will then change the results of your life. That's what Dolly and I have been working on diligently to make easier for people, to give them a pathway to engage with their mind, to something to help them to understand it so that they can make changes. And we hope that that's what you've been doing for yourself as well. Remember, everything starts in the mind. Thought externalizes itself. You don't become what you think about most of the time. You become how you're thinking most of the time. And again, that's really, really important. So, anyways, thank you, by the way, for your patience here. Had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but that's okay. Look, we're here and we started, and we're going to be going over more of the beautiful book that we've been studying called Money is God in Action by Raymond Charles Barker. And if you don't have a copy of it, then click on the link that we provide you so that you can download it and then print it up. And yes, underline it, highlight it, study it. But most importantly, yes, apply it in your life. Application, baby, that's where it's at. Now, before we move into the place where we are in Money is God in Action, I'm going to remind you of you getting this beautiful gem here, which is what we're going to be studying next. And by the way, isn't that an amazing cover? I mean, look at that. It's so beautiful. So this is As a Man Thinketh Out from the Heart, by James Allen. And this is a beautiful gem. And it's definitely something we recommend you have in your library that you use, not your library that you have where you've collected a lot of books. No, we're talking about your use library. So make sure you get a copy of this, order it on Amazon. It's available there. Make sure you get this specific version here, because this one here is what we made sure was the actual version that we felt was the most authentic. And then when you get it, again, highlight it, underline it, memorize it, study it, but most importantly, apply it, apply it, apply it. All right, so you guys ready? You guys ready to dive into where we are? Type in the comments, I'm ready if you're ready, because I am. So let's go into it. Now we're gonna go a little bit back into one specific paragraph, by the way, as we go to this beautiful talk from Raymond. So, and I'll let you know which page that is. Okay, ready? Here we go. One, two, three, boom. All right. Ooh, what happened here? Hold on one second. Let me fix that. Uh, it didn't show up right. Okay. Okay, good. Now let me move it over and shift that. Technical difficulties, but that's okay. All right. So bear with me one moment. In terms of where we are, I just had it up here. Hold on a second. Okay, here. One, two, three. Okay, here we go. We're going to be here in this here. One, shift this over and get this taken care of. Well, I love this. So type in the comments, money is good, as I'm pulling this up for you, okay? Money is good. Money is good. And that's an important thing to get. Money, because money is good. Okay. Okay, here we go. Switch this over here. And all right, here we go. All right. One, two, three, boom. All right. Ta-da, all finished. Okay. Now, money is a spiritual activity. It is good. Now let's just sit in that in a moment. It is good. It is wonderful. And we should love it. It is not filthy lucre. It is not sinful. It is not the devil's playmate. It is God in action. Now, again, the reason why I'm going back to this is because of how important it is for you to connect with it that way. Because if you don't, if you see it as something that's not good, especially if you see yourself as someone who is good, you're going to be repelled by it subconsciously. So really sit in that for a moment. When he talked about this before, when it came to the flow of blood in your body and how the flow of blood is a good indication of the health that you have. If the blood is not flowing, that means there's something blocking that, which means you're decreasing in life. The key component there is to make it so that it flows a lot. Well, here he points out how money is supposed to be circulated in your life. And if it's not circulating in your life, it doesn't mean anything is specifically wrong with you. What it means is there's something within you that's causing it not to flow. It's supposed to flow. Remember, the purpose of money is here so that it circulates. It's not meant to be there where it's just sitting there. It's meant to be moved. Okay. There's got to be movement. There's got to be action. It's got to be dynamic. And that is really important for you to get. So again, money is a spiritual activity. It is good. It is wonderful, and we should love it. It is not filthy lucre. It is not sinful. It is not the devil's playmate. It is God's in action. The stock market is a financial barometer. We do not condemn it. We do not criticize it. Neither do we bless it. We merely leave it alone. We use it as an orderly part of our business world. We do not worry about the value of dollars because whether values go up or down, we who are concerned within ourselves, who are convinced within ourselves that we are worth plenty of money, will always have it. And by the way, that right there is very important for you to get consent to, that you'll always have money, that money flows to and through you in increasing quantities from multiple sources effortlessly. Don't concern yourself about like, oh my gosh, I wonder if I should spend my money on this and to just hold on to it. Every time you do that, you are literally going into a vibratory state where money will be repelled by you. It won't come to you. And that's a really important thing. So don't concern yourself with that. We will always have money because the law of prosperity is based on the perpetual circulation of God's idea in the infinite mind. Now, here, when he's talking about this, keep in mind the perspective that he's talking about. He's talking about those of us who are convinced within ourselves that we are worth plenty of money, will always have it. He's talking about those who think that way will always have it, and that it'll always come to them. See, what he's saying here, if you look at it from a practical standpoint, is to build it within you as a paradigm. Because when that's in your paradigm, guess what? That's what starts to show up and will show up as a result in your life. Now, remember, use your results as feedback as to whether or not you're on track. Your results always tell the truth the same way that your feelings always tell the truth. Look at your results, and if they're not what you would love them to be, understand that it can be the way that you want to be, but in order for it to happen, you got to change what's happening inside. And that's what he's talking about here. He's talking about connecting with the idea that money is good, that money is beautiful, that money is wonderful, that you love money, but that money doesn't own you. And see, that's another component too as well. Now, the great circulation of thought is pouring into our consciousness and appearing in our world as cash in hand. The process goes on eternally despite the value of the dollar or value of the pound sterling. But the people who believe that their money is dependent upon the stock market, or believe their money is dependent on valuation, or believe that their money is dependent upon hours of work, those people are living under the bondage of limitation. And they are not, or they do not demonstrate money. Now think about that for you. When you operate in your life, do you believe that your money is dependent on what's happening in the stock market? Do you believe that your money is dependent on some kind of valuation or upon the hours that you work or what you exchange it for, which is like service? Yes, service is important. But here we're talking about something much deeper. We're talking about a deeply rooted belief in you about whether or not you're connected with money and what you believe money to be. With that being said, if you do operate from that, get away from it and instead operate from that you're always with it, that you always have it. Now, why do they demonstrate that they don't have money? Why is the effect that they don't have money? They demonstrate more worry, more watching, more fear, more doubt. Think about that. That's what's happening within their mind. And unfortunately, if that doesn't change, then the results won't change. See, because that's where they've placed their attention. Whatever you give your attention to, that's what you get more of, multiplied. That's where they're setting up cause, so they reap a similar effect because cause and effect are one. All of you type this in the comments. Everything produces after its own kind. Everything produces after its own kind. Like attracts like. If your mind is saturated with ideas of lack and limitation, I can't afford it, oh, holding on to the money, that's operating from lack and limitation, then that's what's going to come into your life. This is where you've got to shift that narrative inside of you. And then he goes further to state, if I devote my entire thinking, which is the creative power in my world, to worry about money, then the effect must be like unto the cause. And I only have more worry and worry about less money. That is completely logical as well as completely true. Therefore, it is necessary to make my attention from money as a necessity of life, to think of it as a God-given idea for life as a necessary part of the normal circulatory system of the present age. Now, notice how he emphasized here again cause. Let's all type this in the comments. Cause and effect. Cause and effect. Like causes lead to like effects. You're never, ever going to be able to get what you would love out of life to be a result in your life if your mind is saturated with ideas that are of its opposite. It doesn't work that way. So, with that, say to yourself, isn't money wonderful? I'm going to release it with joy. I refuse to worry, for there's plenty more money for me. By the way, how wonderful does that feel when you connect it? As I was saying, I go, that feels really great. Isn't money wonderful? I'm going to release it with joy, refuse to worry, refuse to doubt. I'm going to believe, for there is plenty more money for me. Now, with this being said, for this statement, which is a treatment, I would adjust it and remove isn't money wonderful. And I would say money is wonderful. Money is wonderful. And it is. So he moves further. I want to close this booklet with a specific mental treatment for money. I want you to be clear on this one idea. I'm not giving you a treatment to increase your salary. I am treating for money. And by the way, that's a really big thing to see with what he's communicating here, because many people think of a treatment as, oh, something to help you with your salary or to help you to earn more. No, this is helping you to connect with money itself, the idea of money, and how it's supposed to be circulated. So after you read and declare audibly this treatment for money, you will be willing to take it when it comes. If someone stops you at the street and invites you to a fine restaurant, go. Let your money come from any direction. Now, isn't that interesting? When something like that happens and there's the idea of going there, what is it that most people do inside when it comes to ideas like that? They don't. Why? Because they start to look at their wallet. They look at what's in the bank. They look at what they don't have. They stay emotionally involved with it. They don't go. And guess what? Nothing's changed. And because that's how they thought, they've reinforced the very pattern that led them to not freaking do that. And the cycle goes on and on and on. You know what I'm talking about. You want to break the pattern? You got to step into the discomfort. Let your money come from any direction. I have known people who came to our practitioners office for a money treatment. And after the treatment was given, they would go out and mingle with a group of friends. I would hear a friend say to one of them, maybe I take you to lunch. And he would say, oh no, I couldn't accept. And how many of you have seen that, not only in someone else, but maybe you've done that yourself? Then why should he take a practitioner's time to treat him for money? If someone says to you, I want to give you something, and it's all usable, take it. If it isn't usable, take it anyways and give it to someone else because that is the way, because that is the way bridges prize circulate. Bridge prizes circulate, I should say. I said that wrong. You know, I remember this happening. Um, I was in a Starbucks, or I can't remember what it was. And actually, it wasn't me in a Starbucks, it was somebody else in a Starbucks. And somebody in the Starbucks offered to pay for everybody's drink. And this person told the story of, you know, I said no to it. I just couldn't do that. And keep in mind, this person also had their own drink. And already, because this person already bought it. And then I said to that person, you should accept it. Even if you have it, still accept it. And then when you get it, you can give it to somebody else. I mean, the whole point is to make it so that there's constant circulation in your life. And you know what's interesting is what he's pointing out here is what that advice was. And what's interesting is afterwards, this person started to just receive regardless of whether or not it was needed. And what happened is there was a lot more circulation for other things that they didn't even realize were being blocked because of them saying no to the giving. Now sit in that for a moment. If someone says to you, I want to give you something and it's all usable, take it. If it isn't usable, take it anyways, and then give it to someone else. Because that's the way that bridge prizes circulate. Bridge prizes mean a lot of big things. Now think about that. And remember that if money is God in action, if it is a spiritual idea in your life, then you should welcome with joy anything resembling it. Anything resembling it. So think about it. Everything that's out there, these material things, they're they're purchased with money. So there's a resemblance of it in whatever that is. Be a little enthusiastic about money. Don't criticize anyone who has it. If you believe that someone down the street is getting money dishonestly, what of it? They are working under the law of their own negative mind and they will be stopped. But don't worry about it. It's none of your business. Don't criticize them. Now, there's two elements here. First one, someone who has a lot of money. If you've been saying something about someone who has a lot of money, criticizing it, oh, they got it that way because of blah, blah, rid yourself of that. You are repelling money coming to you if you do that. Don't concern yourself with that. The law will take care of itself for those people who are getting it dishonestly. And for sure, don't worry about whether or not somebody else is doing it wrong. Don't concern yourself with that. Once you lock into that, that's what you're emotionally involved with. Guess what? That's what you're going to connect with. And actually, that's going to be attractive to you too. So say no to that. Now, think of money as being God in action. And whenever you see large amounts of money, say to yourself, isn't that wonderful? Oh my God, that is beautiful. Thank you. Isn't that wonderful? This reminds me of Robert Russell's book, You Too Can Be Prosperous. He would say, with everything, say, I am prosperity. I am prosperity. Isn't that wonderful? This human mind of ours has tricks of limitation and gives itself away every time. If I treat myself for prosperity and go out and criticize someone else because he has plenty of money, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Remember, like attracts like. If you want abundance to be in your life, you got to think abundantly. Let that one sit. You've got to rid your mind from the ideas that sound like this. I can't afford it. It costs too much. It's not in my budget. But the money's not there. Oh, you're toast. You got to break the pattern. The way you break the pattern is first inside accepting the idea that you always have it, that it comes to you easily and effortlessly, that there is no lack and limitation in your life, and then move and believe. Release the money, make the payment. Trust that God has your back. Work with the law. The mental work I have done is rendered ineffective because my own criticism of money has erased its value. See, that's what's happening if you start to think that way. If you hear he's talking about, oh, I want to have money, you criticize, and you criticize someone who has money. Well, it's the same way with regards to you living an abundant life. When the narrative inside of you is rooted in something that's not in harmony with that, guess what? That's what you're going to continue to get. Why? Because that pattern is being reinforced. So override it. Say no, see you later. Thank you very much. You served your purpose. Now I release you. There's a brand new me. And I'm going to be loyal to that instead. So here it makes a statement. You're going to like money because it is God in action. You're going to use it with wisdom, release it in joy, and know it will return to you increased. Say to yourself, wait a moment. I've always have had enough money to meet my needs. And the infinite spirit is not going to stop my income at this point. Isn't that interesting? How he's really just whoosh, slapping in slapping the face of the paradigm that says that. I mean, and by the way, I want you to really look at your life. at how, you know what, your needs have been met and they're consistently being met, which leads to another thing that is never operate based from what you need. Nah, you got to operate from what you want. If you only go based on what you need, that's as far as you will go. But when you operate from what you want, you'll always get what you need because what you need is on the way to get what you want. And that's one of the core elements that we teach here at Elevitality. That's what Dolly and I put beautifully in Emergence is something for you to connect with. Operate from what you want, what you would love for your life, and give that life. Don't continue with the program operating from the lack and the limitation. Now say that again. Wait a moment. I've always had enough money to meet my needs, and the infinite spirit is not going to stop my income at this point. There's no blockage in the universal system. The universe is always in a state of flux. If there is a block in the flow of money in my life, it must be a temporary human block, which I have within my own consciousness. I now break that block. I accept money, appreciate money, use money, and shall never again be afraid of money. Now, how's that for beautiful statement or treatment? Now, for some of you, as you're listening to this, it might sound wonderful, but at the same time, it's very uncomfortable. You might be struggling with it, but that's okay. You know what that reveals? That reveals you're emotionally involved with making the change. That's a fantastic thing. But now you've got to get your mind back on track. Remember, the only reason why we struggle is because our conditioning doesn't recognize the conclusion. It's because the program in you doesn't recognize the outcome. If you do not override that program of lack and limitation and step into the discomfort, you will be in the same place today, right now, tomorrow, next week, a month from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now. Is that what you want? I know it's not. So stop it. Shut that shit down. Type that in the comments. Shut that shit down. Okay, release that. Work with the law. Gosh, it's so important to do this, to really lock into it. Now, here I want to read this section here. This is towards the end of the of the um, of the pamphlet here. Both riches and honor come of thee, and thou rulest over all. And in thy hand is power and might, and in thy hand is to make great and to give strength unto all. Not unto one, not unto this person or that person, unto everyone. And you know, it's interesting when you look at this, this is really about your imagination. It's First Chronicles 29:12. And here's another one. A dollar is a miraculous thing. It is a man's personal energy reduced to portable form and endowed with powers the man himself does not possess. It can go where he cannot go, speak languages he cannot speak, lift burdens he cannot touch with his fingers, save lives with which he cannot directly deal. So that a man busy all day downtown can at the same time be working in boys' clubs, hospitals, settlements, childcare centers all over the city. Think about that. That's what money's for. It's to be circulated. It's good. It's amazing. It's incredible. And here's something from Job. If they obey and serve him, they shall spend all their days in prosperity and their years in pleasure. Now that's beautiful. So now what we'll do is we'll dive into the treatment of money to bring this in for a landing. Okay, this treatment for money. Remember, this is about you changing your programming, changing what's in you subconsciously. If you don't change what's in you subconsciously, your results will not change. It's very simple. Everything of what we do here at Elevitality is helping people to understand that and to change that. And that's what we put together beautifully in our wonderful transformational program, Emergence. So let's go into this treatment. I now subconsciously accept this treatment. There is only one creative cause, God. There is only one mind, God. There's only one life, God. There's only one substance, God. Notice the ones. This present universe is the glory of God. It is a moving, flexible, fluidic creation. It is alive with life, the abundance and richness of God. I abide in prosperity. Mind created me in order that it might act through me. Therefore, I am receptive to its abundance. I am receptive to its circulation in my life in the form of money. Money is God's idea of circulation in my world of finance. I accept this idea completely. I accept this idea. I like it. I'm going to add one more. I love it. Money, being God in action, is absolute good. It is wholesome. It is a blessing to man, and I am now prospered with it. I have no fear of lack, for I believe that I have plenty of money. It is God's activity in my world. It is God's activity in my bank account. It is God's activity in my investments. It is God's activity in everything to which I lay my hands. This money is flowing. This money is free. I do not attempt to lock it up. I do not put a fence around it. It is God's money. I let it flow in. I let it flow out. As I release it, I know that it comes back to me, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Now, notice this statement here: the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. I am now free in money. I rejoice in it. I appreciate it. I thank God for it. I have money forevermore. Amen. Now, how beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? Type in the comments hearts if that was beautiful for you. That's a beautiful treatment. I really hope that you enjoyed this. As a matter of fact, let me rephrase that, Dolly. And I hope that you enjoyed what we shared with you. But most importantly, we hope that you use it, apply it. Remember, just going through this and seeing it as, oh, that was nice and wonderful, that's not going to do anything. This is where you have to practically use it in your life. When we went over that treatment, the reminder for you is that seeing that treatment, reading it, not going to do jack shit for you. You have to connect with it and be emotionally involved with it in order for it to transmute into a result in your life. So use it in your life as if your life depends on it. You know why? Because it does. And boy, does it matter big time. All right. So thank you so much for going through this with us. And Tomorrow, we're going to be diving into this beautiful gem here, As a Man Thinketh and Out from the Heart. So get ready for it. If you don't have a copy of this, make sure that you do get a copy. And then also, another reminder too, as well, make sure you have registered. Make sure you register for Emergence. That doesn't make sense. Have registered, right? We want to invite you to register. If you haven't registered for Emergence, invite other people to come along as well. It's going to be a wonderful event that's taking place this Saturday. So by all means, do that. Just go to elevitality.com and register. All right. So with that being said, if now you could all go ahead and unmute and share the magnificent golden rule.
Application.
Application.
Application, baby. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.